All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the new Black Media Podcast where we speak the truth and nothing but the truth. Today's podcast is brought to you by the Fair Use Disclaimer, where under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976 allows us fair use for criticism, commenting, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. And with that, today's podcast is about the author of Percy Jackson, who shuts down the backlash to casting a black actress as Annabeth Chase. He says, friends, that is racism. Rick Riordan will not stand for any racism toward or bullying of the new Percy Jackson cast. On Tuesday, the author issued a lengthy statement defending the casting of Leah Jeffries as Annabeth Chase. In a post on his website, Riordan, who wrote the Percy Jackson and the Olympians book series, will write the pilot of the Disney Plus series, and executive produce the series, noted that most of the responses to Jeffries being cast have been, quote, overwhelmingly positive and joyous, unquote. But there are still some out there who are upset that Annabeth, who is described as a little white girl in the books, will be played by a black actress, and that's who Riordan directed his post at. Quote, you either are not aware or have dismissed Leah's years of hard work, honing her craft, her talent, her tenacity, her focus, her screen presence, Riordan wrote. You refuse to believe her selection could have been based on merit. Without having seen her play the part, you have prejudged her, which the word pre plus judge equals prejudice, and decided she must have been hired simply to fill a quota or tick a diversity box. And by the way, these criticisms have come from across the political spectrum, right and left. Riordan made a point to clarify that he was not instructed by Disney or anyone else on who he should pick to play the beloved half-bloods. Now, I just want to state for the record, it's funny because when it comes to these fictional characters, people who aren't even real, white society, the racist white society that has made the world the worst place to exist, white supremacy, who always rears its ugly head, who shows its rotten core, you get mad and you say that you're colorblind. But racism ain't blind. Shout out to Queen Amadea. But you'll say things like that and then you prove otherwise when cases like this comes up. When you have a story that is from a series and these are actresses and everyone deserves an opportunity. And as you heard from the author, he said that he chose Miss Jeffries based on merit. Most of you out there who have something negative or nasty to say, it's because you're prejudiced. You operate from racism. That's all. And so his comments were directed right at you. We know who you are. You'll reveal that. You always do. But I digress. He continues on by saying, quote, if you have a problem with this casting, however, take it up with me. You have no one else to blame, unquote, he said. Whatever else you take from this post, we should be able to agree that bullying and harassing a child online is inexcusably wrong. As strong as Leah is, as much as we have discussed the potential for this kind of reaction and the intense pressure this role will bring, the negative comments she has received online are out of line. They need to stop now, unquote. Riordan, who also reiterated that as the man who created these characters, he is inarguably best suited for knowing who should play them, and is confident that audiences will fall in love with Jeffries as Annabeth. Quote, once you see Leah's Annabeth, she will become exactly the way you imagine Annabeth, assuming you give her that chance. But you refuse to credit that this may be true, he wrote. You are judging her appropriateness for this role solely and exclusively on how she looks. She is a black girl playing someone who was described in the books as white. Friends, that is racism. Jeffries takes over the mantle of Annabeth Chase after the character was originally brought to life in the Percy Jackson movies by Alexandra Daddario. Back in December, Daddario wrote or told Rap Women's Unwrapped podcast that she has no involvement in the new Disney Plus series, but was excited to see who would be tapped to play the daughter of Athena next. Quote, I am so excited for the kids that are going to be cast in that and how they'll inspire a new generation of young women. Like, it's so cool. Annabeth is a really inspiring character to people, unquote, she said. Following the release of Riordan's statement, hashtag Leah is our Annabeth began trending on Twitter, with fans voicing their support for the young actress. You can read Rick Riordan's full statement elsewhere. Thanks a lot for tuning in to the New Black Media, where we speak the truth and nothing but the truth. We'll see you in the next podcast. I'm out.